everyone, and welcome back to Growing with Princeton Microgreens. Today we're actually growing a farmer's market favorite for us, Spicy Salad Mix. This has a mix of kohlrabi, broccoli, mustard, and arugula. Now you can mix this yourself, but we actually get this all pre-mixed already from True Leaf Market. Their bags of spicy salad mix are actually reasonably priced, and I've found that if I were to mix it myself, it would actually cost a little bit more than just buying it pre-packaged as is. Let's go ahead and get started with this grow. Ready? Okay, we're going to start off with one bottom tray without holes and their top tray with holes. Obviously that allows us to bottom water by just lifting this tray up and watering underneath. So let's go ahead, and I have some pre-mixed coco coir that we use. When I say pre-mixed, I just mean that we get blocks of coco coir that's kind of dried up and compressed, and you can actually find our video how to, basically add water to those and expand them out into, we just put it right into a big plastic, bucket, I guess you can say here, Rubbermaid container. So, we just spread our coir like so. And then I usually do about 2.5 scoops of this right here. And then I just kind of work it into the sides. I'm a little meticulous. I like all my trays to be perfect. Other people not so much. Just kind of throw it on here. So, like so. Get a little bit more in those corners. That should be good, I think. This is typically about a 9 to 10 day grow. It's not too bad at all. Pretty average for microgreens. Most of our microgreens are about 9 to 10 days, with the exception of a few. Go ahead and work that into the sides. Great. Now we are ready to sow. So, put our coir back. And then right on top here, we actually put on our lid, top sow, 20 grams per flat, and then we put whey on top. So I put that right on top with a little label maker. That way we know exactly without having to look through documentation or having to remember by our head. So all that information there. So basically we just zero out our scale, measure out about 20 grams. Perfect. 20. We're 2 grams over, but that's perfectly fine. That won't hurt it. Put it into our little seed spreader here. I've said this before, but you can, this is basically just a little container that we got from, I think it was filled with like just a random spice that you use, like thyme or paprika, rosemary, and we cleaned it up and we use it as our seed spreader, and it works perfectly, as you can see. Spread out that seed. Excellent. Now we get our handy dandy hose, set it to mist, and we just go ahead and mist this without spreading the seed around too much from the pressure, obviously. Now we want to give it enough to make sure it gets through germination and blackout without having to touch this, every day, 2-3 times a day to water. So I usually get a little bit generous and give it quite a bit. And then we will go ahead and put another tray on top. And put some weight on top. Okay, it's about 15 pounds in weight there with this block. Now we just take it, we put it over here for germination, and then we let that sit anywhere from 2 to 3 days. We let that germinate. You really don't need to touch it again because we gave it enough water to get through germination. We even gave it enough water to get through blackout as well. So we'll go ahead and let that sit for 2 to 3 days and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to day number 4 of our Spicy Salad Mix grow. This has been in germination day 1, 2, and 3. Today's day 4, and we're going to go ahead and remove the weight. So do that. Take off the tray. And we are exactly where we want to be. This is germinated exactly how we wanted it to germinate. So from here, we're going to go ahead and put it in blackout for about 2 days and allow it to kind of grow a little bit. And we're going to basically trick it. It's going to think that it wants to grow up towards light. It's going to be in the dark, so it's going to grow up. And so that's kind of how you trick it there. So in order for us to do that, I don't use this tray for 2 reasons. 1, it's too short. It's not going to give it enough room to grow. And 2, because it is, I didn't think about this when I bought these, but because it is kind of a green color, light does kind of penetrate through this. If you hold it up to light, you'll see light kind of squirt through here. So what we're going to do is to solve both of those problems, we're going to use a black tray that doesn't let light through. It doesn't introduce light at all. On top of it, it's a 2-inch, so it's going to give it a little bit room to grow. So that's how we put it in blackout. So go ahead, just put it on like so, and we'll introduce it back to the shelf. And then we'll probably let that sit in blackout for about 2 days, and we will be right back and we'll go from there. See you soon. All right, on to day 6 of our Spicy Salad Mix grow here. We just took this off the shelf from blackout, so we're going to go ahead and remove the top here. It's such a pretty color. You kind of have a little bit of that purple, greenish kind of coming in, yellow. This is a great crop. It's really got a mix of different microgreens, and they all grow at the same rate as well, which is why this is such a popular crop to grow, because you get a variety of different microgreens without having to grow the variety of microgreens all individually. You just do it all at once, and it makes for a killer salad mix. This is just one of our popular. We sell out of this every single market first. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of lift it and feel here. We can use a little bit of water. We're going to give it some nutrient water today. We obviously have not watered it. We have not watered this in the first 6 days. This has been going. I haven't misted it once. Nothing. We gave it enough water to get through germination, blackout. So now it's starting to get a little low on water. You can feel it. So I'm going to go ahead and give it about a cup of water here. And that's really it. This is the nutrient water with the ocean mix. You can find the link down at the bottom in the description of the video if you're interested in that. It's about a ½ ounce to 1 gallon of water. I do about 5-gallon drum here of water, so I do about 2½ ounces of that ocean mix. So we're going to go ahead and put this right back on the shelf under the light. And we will check it out tomorrow and see how it's doing. All right, see you shortly. All right, welcome back to day number 7 of our Spicy Salad Mix grow. We went and put this into the light yesterday. It's been in blackout the last few days, and it's already gone from that, that light yellow color from being in blackout to a pretty vibrant green already. We still have a few more days left of this. These are going to get a little bit bigger. There's Again, different colors in this, which just makes it a really beautiful crop to grow, along with all the different flavors that come along with it. This is looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up a little bit just to get a feel for how much water is in there. We're going to go ahead and give this a little bit more nutrient water today. You can tell we're a little dry. The roots are a little dry as well today, so we'll definitely give this a little bit of water. Probably give it about another cup of nutrient water. I don't give my crops nutrient water every day. The spicy salad mix, though, I do. I find it likes it a little bit better than just normal water. Otherwise, it does grow a little slow. So just give it a little bit more there. So I did about a cup, maybe a little bit more than a cup, cup and a quarter. So, other than that, it's looking great. We're just going to go ahead, introduce it right back to light again. Come back tomorrow, see what it looks like again. All right, see you shortly. All right, back to day number 8 of our spicy salad mix grow. This is looking very good right now. It does grow a little uneven, which is pretty normal with this because we're growing 4 or 5 different kind of microgreens all at the same time. So they're going to grow similar fashion, but they're not going to grow identical. And that's why you kind of see this has kind of got that wompiness to it up top here. It's not going to be that perfect, beautiful canopy that you see with other microgreens. So we're going to go ahead and give this a little bit of water here. Got about a cup and a half of water is what I'm doing. Be plenty good with that. We'll go ahead and put it back on a shelf. This is day 8. We're going to be harvesting this on day number 10. So we're going to leave this on a shelf tomorrow, harvest on day number 10. So we will come back tomorrow just to take another peek and see what that looks like. So we'll see you shortly. Back to day number 9 of our spicy salad mix grow. This is an extremely easy grow. It looks really good right now, and I want to note that even though, and I've said this before, but even though it does grow a little uneven, that's because it's the different kinds of microgreens, so they're not going to all grow perfectly even. It's perfectly fine. This looks looking really good right now. This is just about ready to harvest. We're going to give it one more day under the light. I can go ahead here and I'm going to give it a little bit more water. Not too much, because again on day 9, we don't want to give it too much water because we're going to try to focus on drying out the crop before we harvest tomorrow. So we don't want, what happens is that canopy, especially in the summertime, in the wintertime not so much, but in the summertime what happens is it's so hot sometimes, and there's humidity in the air. And so we have a dehumidifier going, but this canopy will actually catch that moisture as it kind of evaporates from the coir. And what it does is you can kind of stick your fingers in here and feel it's a little wet and a little moist. And so we need to make sure that you have proper airflow going through the crop, especially the last day. That way when we do harvest, it's nice and dry. Every microgreen's worst enemy is moisture, especially when you're storing them. If they're too wet, they're too moist, and you try to store them away, they'll go bad within days. But if they're dry, we've seen them last up to 3 to 4 weeks in the refrigerator. So again, it's imperative that you get them dry the very last day. So that's what we're going to do. We'll introduce it back to the light. And we do have these little fans on, these CPU fans that we have plugged in. And so they're just going to blow air across here. After this video is over as well, I'm going to turn on some fans I have that'll circulate the air around the room as well. I have a dehumidifier going all the time. But let's go ahead and give that until tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow for harvest day. All right, it is day number 10, which means it is harvest day. This is our spicy salad mix. This is ready to go. It's a beautiful length. You can actually kind of stick your fingers through here and actually see we had the fans on, so it's very dry. There's no moisture inside or anything like that, which will keep the microgreens fresh for a longer period of time when you have them in the refrigerator and such. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But first we're going to need a couple of things here. We have our scale to measure out the weight. We have our containers, 100% biodegradable, compostable, made from cornstarch, which we use. A little bit more expensive, but definitely worth it, and the customers love it. So then we have also labels that we have made. I'll go ahead and put a link once we have the video up. I'll put a link here for you to see how we make our labels and the process that we use to make our labels. So keep an eye out for that. We usually put date harvested, the weight. We do 2 ounces for a spicy salad mix here. Have a UPC label and everything, and so we'll get into that. And we also have these food packs, which basically keep the humidity down. It sucks in the humidity from the container. So in the event that there's a little bit too much humidity from the greens, you know, it prevents the container from sweating a little bit inside. You can't get rid of all of it, but this definitely does help. I'll have the links for everything down in the description box, so check that out as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and grab one of our containers, put it on the scale before we even turn the scale on, because we have to zero out the scale. So we'll put one of these in here, go ahead and zero that out. Perfect. And then just like so. I'm going to see if we can actually pull this up here so you can see underneath, see the roots really quick before we actually start harvesting this. And what's kind of really neat is this, you know, the nice thin layer of coir that we have here. The roots just kind of, you know, grab into it and really create its own, you know, structure. We could actually take this off and harvest right on the table if we want, but it gets a little messy, so we don't do that all the time. But as you can see here, there's a little yellowing on the roots. Doesn't really affect anything, doesn't really affect the crop that much, but yeah, it's pretty neat though. So go ahead and start with that here. It actually helps too when I can lift it up a little bit and actually get kind of closer to the medium without having to worry about, you know, like hitting up the plastic tray or anything here. So this is nice. We fill our containers up with about 56 grams of microgreens, which is equal to roughly 2 ounces. And we sell our spicy salad mix for about $6 a container. And as I'm cutting this, it actually, this is one of my favorite greens to eat. This is so delicious. My wife just likes taking it, eating it right out of the container, putting a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette dressing right in it, shaking the box and just eating it right with a fork. It's pretty funny. It smells so good. Just that mix of microgreens. It's just the flavor. Even my kids are teenagers, and you know, they don't traditionally like to eat a lot of greens. But my daughters always ask me, say, "Dad, when are you making spicy salad mix again? When are you making spicy salad mix again?" This is their favorite. They love this. They will eat this any time of the day, any day of the week. So we have our container here. Go ahead and take our label. And put that on there just like that. And we have our nice little beautiful container here of spicy salad mix. Again, $6 a container is what we sell it for, and that looks gorgeous. We have the nice little food pack here. The greens look beautiful. Yeah, what more can you ask for, right? So we don't like to harvest into a bowl. If you notice, we go directly into our container here. Oh, don't want to forget one of these. We go right into our container. And it's not just for saving time either. I note sometimes that, you know, it saves a lot of time. But at the same time, if you actually look how we're harvesting these, you can actually grab the microgreens like so, and kind of put them in a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. And the presentation of the container, to me, just looks so much more beautiful and appealing to the eye. So right here we have about 50 grams. Go a little bit more. Not too much. I have to take a few out there, I'm guessing. Yeah, about 57, that's fine, 57. But yeah, it's much more appealing to the eye, and I think that's important. Presentation is everything when you're selling your product. I really work hard on my presentation when you're presenting it to customers or markets or or anything really. I let the product sell itself is what I try to do. So looks beautiful though. So it looks with the way this is going, it looks like we're going to get about 3.5 containers here, is what my guess is going to be, which is no problem because lucky for me, I actually grew 2 trays of this, which means 3.5 times 2 is going to be about 7 containers of spicy salad mix. So we'll just harvest the one of these here on camera, but after we're done here, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the second tray that I have and see if we can't get a full 7 containers, which would bring me to roughly around 7 times 6 is what, 42, right? So $42 for 2 trays of microgreens. I think that's a pretty reasonable price, pretty reasonable profits. So pretty good. 51. Looks like I'm only get about 57. Depending on how many that other tray has will be dependent on whether or not I get that 7th or not. But you know what? It's okay, because if we don't make it to 7, my kids will devour the extra. They always do. They probably prefer it that way. So there you go. We have 1, 2, 3 containers of our spicy salad mix. This looks great. I actually can't wait to eat this. Again, this is one of my favorites to eat. It is so tasty. I highly recommend that this be one of your main crops if you do farmers markets or any kind of market at all. This is one of our top sellers. This sells out first almost every single market that we grow this. We have people that come and buy 2, 3, 4 containers of this sometimes every week. So definitely highly recommend the spicy salad mix. You can find the link where to get the seeds down below in the description box. I'll go ahead and harvest this. Like I said, I have another tray, so we'll see if we can push that over and get that 7th container. But thank you again for watching. I really appreciate our subscribers. I really appreciate everybody watching here. I put a lot of work into this channel so far, and it seems to really be paying off, and that's thanks to you guys. So again, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again next grow. All right, bye-bye. Hello everyone, Peter here from Princeton Microgreens. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Also, if you have any ideas, suggestions, or questions, feel free to leave them below in the comment box. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.